She was only assigned to the gate until a SEAL commander saluted her first. It was a cold, quiet morning at Naval Base Coronado. The Pacific wind rolled in off the ocean, carrying with it a faint mist of salt. At Gate 4, a young enlisted sailor stood at her post, hands firm on her clipboard, eyes scanning every vehicle that entered. Her name was Petty Officer Second Class Emily Carter. Emily wasn't supposed to be here. Not at the front gate of one of the most secretive parts of the U.S. Navy. She'd trained as an administrative specialist, typing memos, processing leave forms, filing duty rosters. The gate wasn't her assignment. But when the watch bill came out that week, there it was. She didn't question it. Orders were orders. Still, she felt like she'd been quietly sidelined, tucked away out of sight, where she wouldn't get in anyone's way. Emily adjusted her cap, squared her shoulders, and kept her eyes on the approaching SUV. She didn't know yet that this day, this ordinary morning, would change everything she thought she knew about respect, service, and herself. Because before noon, one of the Navy's most decorated SEAL commanders would walk up to her, look her dead in the eye, and salute her first. Emily Carter grew up in Columbus, Ohio, a landlocked city about as far from the ocean as one could get. Her father, a firefighter, her mother, a schoolteacher. She had dreamed of college, but when tuition bills came due, the Navy offered an escape, steady pay, a chance to travel, and the GI Bill for later. Boot camp had been tough but not impossible. She excelled at administration. She had a natural knack for order, detail, and calm under pressure. She graduated top of her yeoman class, earning high marks from her instructors. But on the male-dominated base, it was easy to be invisible. The SEALs were legends warriors who trained for impossible missions. They lived in a different world entirely. For an admin specialist like Emily, the SEALs might as well have been Hollywood superheroes. So when she found her name on the gate duty roster, she felt a sting. Why me? She'd muttered to herself. It wasn't glamorous work standing for hours, checking IDs, waving cars through. It was dull, lonely, and far below the fast-paced clerical world she'd wanted. But Emily was the kind who did her duty no matter what. If they wanted her at the gate, she'd be the best gate guard they'd ever seen. The sun was still low when the first vehicles rolled up. Contractors, delivery trucks, uniformed sailors. Emily checked credentials with crisp efficiency. She kept her boots shined and her uniform perfect. Across the road, a group of SEAL trainees jogged by, drenched in sweat, carrying logs over their shoulders. Emily kept her eyes forward. She knew the rule. Gate guards are invisible, professional but neutral. She thought of her father's advice the night before she shipped out to boot camp. Respect isn't about rank, Emmy. It's about how you carry yourself. Show up, stand tall, even when no one's looking. Those words echoed now, steadying her. Around 0930, a black government SUV pulled up. Its windows were tinted. The driver rolled down the window and handed her an ID card. Emily's eyes flicked to the name, Commander David Rourke. She knew the name. Everyone did. Rourke had led SEAL operations in Afghanistan, Somalia, and classified places nobody talked about. He had a reputation, fearless in combat, but also fiercely protective of his people. The commander stepped out of the SUV. He was taller than she expected, in desert fatigues, his cap low over sharp blue eyes. He moved with quiet authority, like a man used to making decisions under fire. Emily snapped to attention, as regulations required. "Good morning, Commander. May I see your access paperwork?" Rourke handed it over without a word. Emily checked the details, scanning for discrepancies. Everything was in order. She handed it back, saluted, and said, "You're clear to enter, sir." What happened next made her blink. Commander Rourke did not walk past her. Instead, he stopped, looked at her name tag, and then slowly, deliberately, he saluted her first. In the Navy, protocol says the junior salutes the senior first. The senior may return it, but never initiates. Yet here was a SEAL commander, a man with decades of combat experience, saluting a 24-year-old yeoman at a gate. Emily felt her throat tighten. She returned the salute automatically. "Thank you, sir," she murmured, confused. Rourke gave a faint smile. "Petty Officer Carter, right?" "Yes, sir." "I read your name on the watch bill. You've been doing outstanding work." Her eyes widened. How could he possibly know? Rourke's expression turned serious. "You handled those clearance forms for the last op, didn't you? The ones that came in late?" "Yes, sir." "You saved my team a 48-hour delay. You probably didn't even know it, but you did." Emily's heart raced. She remembered the stack of urgent forms she'd processed late one night, long after everyone else had gone home. She'd done it quietly, never expecting thanks. Rourke held her gaze. "We don't always get to choose our posts, but we choose how we carry ourselves, and you've carried yourself like a professional. My respect." He gave her a nod, then got back into his SUV and drove off, leaving Emily standing there in stunned silence. Word spread. By lunch the story was everywhere. Commander Rourke saluted a gate guard. Sailors whispered about it in the mess hall. Chiefs raised eyebrows. Even the executive officer stopped by the gate to see her. But Emily kept her head down. She wasn't looking for fame. She just kept doing her job. Later that day, an email arrived in her inbox. Subject line, "Temporary reassignment." She'd been moved out of gate duty and into the operations office as an executive assistant. It was a career-making assignment. Emily closed the email slowly. Her hands trembled. She thought of her father's words again. Respect isn't about rank. It's about showing up. She realized the salute wasn't just about her paperwork. It was about something deeper, that even small acts done with integrity can ripple out and change everything. That night, as the sun set over the base, Emily walked the same path the SEAL trainees had run that morning. She could still feel the commander's gaze. She could still hear the snap of that salute. She knew she'd never forget it, not because a high-ranking officer had noticed her, but because it proved something she had always hoped was true. Honor recognizes honor. Even in a world of hierarchy, uniforms, and protocol, humanity still shone through. Months later, Emily would go on to earn her commission as an officer. She'd serve tours in Europe and the Pacific. She'd mentor young sailors, reminding them of that day at the gate. "Do your best, work," she'd tell them, even when no one's watching, especially then. And in quiet moments, she'd think back to Commander Rourke, the man who broke protocol to salute a gate guard, because sometimes the smallest acts of respect can change the course of a career and a life. On the surface, it was just a salute at a gate, a moment that lasted seconds, but for Petty Officer Emily Carter, it became a defining event, a reminder that dignity, professionalism, and quiet excellence don't go unnoticed forever. Her story is a testament to the unseen men and women who hold the line in ways most of us never hear about. And maybe it's a message for us all. You may feel stuck at the gate, right now, overlooked, undervalued, unseen. But if you keep showing up, if you carry yourself with integrity, someone will notice. And when that moment comes, it can change everything.